It is XMEN 97, episode 9. We are one more episode away from the season finale. And check out my shirt. I mean, if you've seen the episode, then you know why I'm wearing this particular shirt. You know, because Wolverine isn't even one of my favorite X-Men team members. I feel like he's, you know, overutilized, and it's too much focus on him. It's too much focus on Wolverine, and it's too much focus on Magneto. But before we get into all of that, theme song. When we last left off, Magneto used his electromagnetic powers to shut down all electricity across the globe. So we see the world kind of reacting to this in several different scenes. So as the mob is getting ready to attack Jubilee and Sunspot, Storm comes in. We're back at the X Mansion, and we see Charles, and he's having a conversation with Scott, and he's having a conversation with Jean. But, you know, Jean is pretty much not saying too much. It's mainly Charles versus Scott Summers showdown.
Magneto, sir? Really? What did you expect was going to happen when you tossed him to school?
Both of you have done everything I have asked since you were teenagers. That you would help build a world where mutants could live however they wish, but that you would never allow yourself to enjoy it.
I understand where Charles is coming from, because if you guys remember Scott's interview with Trish Tilby, he was pretty much saying that he is always on the front lines fighting for people that are racist towards him.
You're ungrateful. We fight, risk our lives for you. Evil mutants, robots, crazy aliens, you can't say thank you. Because I have to stomach your questions and prove that I'm a person.
So if Charles is saying, listen, I didn't want you to bear the responsibility of always being in the forefront to fight for mutant kind. I wanted you and Jean to have somewhat of a normal life. In this moment, Xavier is not the villain here. So I understand that Scott is frustrated about everything that is happening, and he's using Xavier as a way to let out his frustrations, but it's kind of unfair, in my personal opinion. So then we see Rogue. She finally wakes up from her coma. Welcome back. And then Storm, she reunites with all the X-Men and she got her powers back. Welcome back. Like, finally, the X-Men team is not crippled anymore. Like, everybody's coming back. So first things first, they're going to go to Muir Island for the base of operations since the X-Mansion is totaled, and they don't have any functioning electricity. 2, they need to find Bastion and stop his robot. And then the third part of the mission is they have to convince Magneto to turn on the electricity back across the globe. We'll see how that's gonna go down.
Part of me wonders if Gambit should have been buried here. He was always trying to outrun his past with the Thieves Guild.
Remy was the most Cajun man I ever met.
Charles is mourning the death of Gambit, and he runs into Rogue. She is also still mourning Gambit. She has on Gambit's coat. So Charles, you know, tries to start a conversation, and Rogue says this.
He knew our lives are about what bits of us we leave behind and what we carry into the future. Maybe if you saw us as people and not students, you'd have realized that.
And then we see Xavier say sorry to Rogue.
I'm so sorry, Rogue. For you, for Remy, nothing spoken can heal this pain.
And I was just like, no. This makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. Charles was in space. Charles was in space. We saw that in episode 6. He was with the Shi'ar Empire. He had nothing to do with Gambit's death. The reason why Gambit was in Genosha was because he wanted to be by Rogue, because Magneto asked Rogue to join him in Genosha.
Forgive Gambit's passive adolescence. He insisted on coming after Rogue agreed to join me at the gala.
Gambit would still be alive today if he did not step foot in Genosha. The only reason why Gambit was in Genosha was because of Rogue. That had nothing to do with Charles Xavier. That had everything to do with Magneto. So why is Charles Xavier getting the blame for Gambit's death? That makes no sense. So why on earth would they insert that there to make it seem like Xavier had something to do with Gambit's death? That is so unfair.
Maybe if you saw us as people and not students, you'd have realized that.
No, that's not why. That's not why. That's not why. That's not why. That is not why. That's not why. That is not why. That is not why.
He's grieving this, but he's also carrying the blame. And it's like, why are you carrying the blame, Xavier? It is not your fault. This is absolutely terrible writing. Absolutely character assassination. I do not like it. I do not like it because Xavier had nothing to do with anything that went down in Genosha. So then we see Magneto.
Looks like the search came to us.
Same old debate, same old debate, same old debate.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Charles Xavier, I want to protect those that hate and fear us.
Your path leads to total destruction for both humans and mutants.
Magneto believes that mutants are the superior and we should not have to bend the knee to anybody.
Cling to this dying world, or rise to your future and look down upon this fallen pigsty planet.
This is like a reoccurring theme in all X-Men media. Whose side are you on? Charles or Magneto?
Of these two pictures. Neither? No, but
Magneto's not right here. There's another campaign that started throughout the series. Magneto's right. Magneto's right. Magneto's right. He's right about what, though? Because this man shut off electricity across the globe. There are mutants that are still living on Earth. And if you do not fix the electromagnetic field, then the Earth will be destroyed. And all the mutants that are living on Earth will be killed. So you're willing to sacrifice billions of lives, whether it's humans or mutants, billions of lives because you got pissed off about Genosha. Now I understand. Genosha was a travesty. I get it. I 100% get it. But you're about to kill everybody on Earth. That doesn't make any sense. So what is Magneto right about? I don't get it. Do y'all get it? Let me know in the comments. What is Magneto right about? I understand his feelings about Genosha. But if he does not fix the electromagnetic core, he's going to kill everybody on the globe. What exactly is he right about here?
Come on, y'all. This is dumb.
Then Magneto is offering a choice among the remaining X-Men. You know, choose Xavier or choose me. So then Rogue walks up.
Rogue, no.
In Genosha, I made a choice to lead our kind to a new age.
Rogue, what are you doing, babe? If Magneto does not fix the Earth once again, he's going to kill everybody on Earth. That's not you. You wouldn't sacrifice billions of lives just because you pissed off about Gambit dying, which is what you and Magneto caused, because again, he went to Genosha because of you two. What are you doing? And so Storm's like, don't turn your back on family. And Rogue's like,
None of you were there the day Genosha fell. Who dies next, Professor? Jean, I will not see any more mutants die.
Well, you don't know this. You know, like a damn country bumpkin.
Nightcrawler was there. That's one thing that the writers did not pick up on. Rogue should not have said that line without opposition from Nightcrawler, because Nightcrawler was on Genosha. He almost died on Genosha, saving Magneto and Rogue. Did we forget that? So it doesn't make sense that Rogue is aligning herself with Magneto. And then we see Sunspot. Why are you joining Magneto? And mind you, Sunspot just blamed Charles Xavier for signing the school to Magneto.
I believe Magnus will be open to turning the power back on.
Well, didn't you also believe it was a good idea to hand the bad guy your school?
So now you're going to join the person that you just blamed Charles for signing the school over to? That's not making any sense. That's not making any sense.
Somebody ain't doing the math right.
So Sunspot and Rogue is joining Magneto. And the both of them are okay with billions of lives dying because Magneto is refusing to fix Earth's magnetic field. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's move on.
Am I going to war or a circus?
What'd you expect? Black leather?
You actually go outside in these things? What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
So the lines have been drawn in the sand, the teams have been established, and this is a 3-part mission. Number 1, stop Bastion. Number 2, neutralize Bastion's humanoid sentinels. Number 3, force Magneto to fix Earth's gravitational electromagnetic core. So here are the 2 teams. We got X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold. All right, so the blue team, we got Scott, Charles Xavier, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and Wolverine. Explain to me why a man with metal bones is going against a man who has the power to control electromagnetism. Who decided to put Wolverine on the team to fight Magneto? Wolverine's claws are way more beneficial to fight against Sentinels and fight against Bastion because his claws can cut through anything. Who established these teams here? It doesn't make any sense.
You are stupid. You are stupid. And don't forget, you are stupid.
And then on the X-Men Gold team, we got Jean, Storm, 2 Omega level mutants. All right. We got Jean, Storm, Forge, Beast, and Morph. All right. Let the showdown begin.
Forge and I will draw their focus in the air. The rest of you continue to the ground.
No, that's an army out there.
Believe, not in a dream or our gifts, but in each other.
Make them mind your weather, sister.
And them weather your mind.
And I said it once, I said it again. The sisterhood between Jean and Storm is absolutely amazing. It's just beautiful. So Storm is handling the Sentinels. And the rest of the team, Jean, Beast, and Morph, they are on the ground. And Cable, they are on the ground and they're taking the fight to Bastion. So they come across a bunch of Sentinels and Morph turns into the Incredible Hulk. We got an Incredible Hulk cameo. I don't care about that. What I care about is this fight between Jean and Mr. Sinister. Finally, I want Jean to whoop this man's ass. On Asteroid M is Magneto versus everybody.
And so you have chosen your side.
And Rogue and Sunspot so happen to be, I guess, his bodyguards.
Time out, sugar. You're playing to kill.
Like, how are you guys fighting your former teammates? This makes absolutely no sense. It should have been, you know, the X-Men versus the Acolytes with Rogue and Sunspot. That would have been a more interesting fight, you know, a team versus team fight, but whatever. And then we see Charles, you know, I've been on your side this entire episode, but you do run your mouth a little too much, and you guys are in the middle of a fight. Shut the up.
Shut up.
And then we see Storm and Forge. They are fighting the Sentinels. One of the Sentinels shoots down the Blackbird. Storm is trying to save Forge, and then she gets hit. What the f? Here you have Storm flying over a whole entire ocean, and she gets knocked down by Sentinels? Huh? Like, I know Storm is not like, you know, she's not like invincible, and she's not, you know, a whole entire a celestial being. Like, she's not like Galactus or anything. But it's like, bro, Storm is an Omega level mutant. Stop playing with her. She just killed all them Sentinels in episode 1, and now she can't handle the Sentinels in episode 9. Huh? And then to make matters worse with the Gold Team, Sinister uses Cable mind controlling him to attack Jean. Jean is an Omega class telekinetic. What the hell? Y'all just got this girl throwing up a shield? Oh, hell no. So what are we doing here? How are y'all gonna nerf 2 Omega level mutants? Y'all nerf Storm, and then y'all nerf Jean Grey. The f? No. No.
Hell no.
All right, so then Wolverine actually removes Magneto's helmet, and Xavier attempts to use his telepathy to try to get Magneto to reverse, you know, Earth. And Scott shoots Xavier. Now, the reason why Scott shot Xavier is because Jean telepathically called him to be like, look, I am fighting Cable right now, and the Gold Team, we're losing. If Xavier was able to force Magneto to turn the power back on Earth, then he would have turned the power back on for all the humanoid Sentinels. And they would have had a more difficult time stopping Bastion when he has the main Sentinels and all the humanoid Sentinels. So that is the reason why Scott shot Xavier. But it was just a f***ed up situation, because then Magneto got the upper hand over everybody. As we see, Magneto is torturing Xavier.
Oh, Charles.
And then he gets stabbed. I'm curious to know, how on earth did Magneto allow Wolverine to sneak up behind him? Like, Magneto can detect metal. So I was just like, damn, you let Wolverine sneak up behind you like that? Wolverine stabs him right in the chest. We see the blood and everything, and Magneto has blood dripping from his mouth. It was a very serious situation, and then it goes left. Yikes. Yikes. Can I just say, shout out to the animators, because this looks exactly like the comic panel. Like, this moment is like a copy and paste of the exact moment of what happened in the comics. So here's my takeaways from this episode. Number 1, Magneto's not right. That's been debunked. I debunked it several times. Magneto's not right. Number 2, Xavier's not a villain. Scott tried to make it seem like Xavier was a villain because he signed over to school to Magneto. He's not a villain, because he wanted you to have a normal life. and not carry this burden of protecting mutant kind for the rest of your life. He wanted you to live life. Roberto tried to blame Xavier for signing the school over to Magneto, but then you joined Magneto. So that just negates your point. Rogue tried to blame Xavier for the death of Gambit. Gambit was in Genosha because of you, Rogue, and Magneto. He volunteered to go to Genosha because you and Magneto were going together. It had nothing to do with Xavier. Xavier was in space, recovering from being shot by Henry Gyrick. Did we just forget all that? So yeah, Magneto's right. Xavier is not a villain. And the X-Men have been nerfed.
Scott, I love you.
This was a very chaotic episode. My favorite part of the episode was Jean knocking the out of Mr. Sinister. She got him good. Oh, she got him good. But yeah, this was episode 9. Episode 9. Okay. But yeah, that's it for XMEN 97 episode 9 review. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.